wanted to come to you guys and talk to you guys about how I changed the energy around my business by changing my mindset and changing my own energy. So I used to be one of those people that felt like all of the good things that came to me were by chance and not necessarily by choice. I felt like the people that, had what I would consider like good fortune, or had, nice people around them, or even, the prettier ones, or whatever you want to call it. I felt like God designated those people to be that, and I was just never going to be that kind of person unless I had a stroke of luck, right? And that type of thinking, it gets us in a lot of these situations. So for instance, when I was younger, I've done hair since I was about 9 or 10. But when I started to take it seriously, I honestly did it out of survival. And I feel like that's where I messed up in the first place as well. So anytime that you are relying, even if it's a job, anytime that you are relying on someone else to feed you, you are also expecting them to starve you at the same time, right? So I can remember back in the day, like, I was homeless. I might have did a weave or two for like $25 just so I could eat that day. Well, due to that, you could, a certain, a certain caliber of clientele was to be expected, right? So, and I'll do another video on pricing. That's not exactly what I'm trying to get at right now, but I'm saying that to say that when you don't know who you are and you do not know your worth and what you deserve, you open the door and the space for people to treat you as such. And there are some people that know what you deserve, but they lack the integrity and the care and consideration to treat you as such, because they feel like, well, if she don't, why should I? And this translates everywhere. But I mean, my life is so much of my business that for me, it translated into hair as well as my life, right? So I was one of those people. I'm a reformed people pleaser. And anytime anybody was upset with something that I did, or anytime anybody criticized something that I did, I took it personal and I would change everything. So I can remember working out the house, and I think I raised my prices like $10. And someone made a fake Instagram page and was like, oh, you're getting too close to shop prices. You need to be careful. And it hurt my feelings because it was just like $85. Like, they're charging like $150 in the shop. But mind you, the me now would tell the me back then, like, hey girl, first and foremost, this person made a fake page to try to tell you about you. That should let you know all that you need to know. It took me a really long time to learn how not to take things so personal, because I've always been one to really care about what I do. And I really do put my heart into my business, because for me, hair is my art. Hair is my craft. Hair, I truly love what I do. My clients will tell you I love them so much. Like, and so for me, it was just like, damn, like I'm raising my prices because I have to. I'm not doing it to try to get over on anybody. And my business model for a long time was being an affordable hairstylist. It wasn't that like, oh, I need all these clients because my prices are inexpensive. It was more so trying to remain accessible. But you can't be accessible to everybody, and you don't owe everybody that. And so that's that whole concept of, where they say charge your worth and add tax. There's a way to go about it though, So I say that to say that when I stopped playing victim, when I stopped looking at people to come and save me and have my back, that is when things began to change for me. So, in my case, sorry guys, there was like a detour by my house. So in my case, there's a number of things that I could speak on. And I am really big on what you pay attention to and which is what you attract, right? So for instance, I used to complain a lot about, maybe clients flaking. And would be like, if you're not going to make it, just say something, blah, 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 blah. Okay, if these people cared about that, you wouldn't be having to make a post about it, right? If these people cared about that, you wouldn't even have to be speaking on it, right? Okay, so your complaints, because that's what they were, your complaints are falling on deaf ears, and they're honestly not necessary. And I had to learn that. So what I began to do was, instead of doing all this damn complaining, I just started setting boundaries. If you are going to flake, you cannot come back here. Because if you do not respect, if I'm respecting your time and you're not respecting mine, what you're asking of me, I can't ask of you. Okay, well, that's not the kind of client or business relationship that I want. It's that simple. And then, a lot of things is, you don't have to be bitter about it. So a lot of the time I notice with, myself, for instance, I came off very angry and very bitter. Well, if I'm coming off that way, what energy do you think that I'm getting back from clients? I'm not attracting the clientele that I want because I'm spending too much time hollering at the ones that are not giving me. Sorry guys. I'm not attracting the clients that I desire to attract because I'm actually, my energy is pushing them away and attracting more of what I don't want. There are people in the world that literally look for an opportunity to piss you off because that's how you're already acting. So there's people that, you could say, oh, I can't stand when clients is late. Like, you bitches ain't never on time. Whoa. What you think you're going to get? You're going to get that client that be like, bitch, I'm going to be late and I dare you to fucking say something about it. That's not the kind of people that you want. So just changing my mindset and going, okay, well, and honestly, for me, it was like, I learned that I came off as very bitter because there were a lot of things that I felt like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you guys are not receptive. And so that was what it was with me. It wasn't like, oh, all y'all got me fucked up. It was just more so like, damn, I'm putting my heart into this. I really care about you guys. And you guys are not reciprocating that. Okay, well, technically, they don't owe you that. That's just what it is. They don't owe you that. And so I had to learn that. So, instead of saying, hey, I hate when you guys are late, I don't even say shit anymore. I just put it on the website. Hey, I have a late policy. Here's my late policy. Period. And if a client is late and they want to argue me down, I don't argue clients down. I do not argue with clients. I simply screenshot the agreements and what they agreed to, because the way my website works is you can't even pay your deposit until you agree to my policy. So whether you read it or not, it was there. I don't argue. If a client happens to be disappointed because they didn't get the result that they wanted, I just go, you know what? I completely understand your frustration, but these are my policies. Period. You don't have to do all of that other stuff. I feel like in our community, just in general, a lot could be changed if we just spoke to each other differently. Yeah. So that was one thing. Another thing is I see a lot of people complain about tips, for instance, right? This has never really been a thing that I did, but it does go into like the changing your mindset, right? A lot of things, I just look at things from a place of everything can be changed with just a simple fix or just a simple thought change instead of us complaining about it. So I see people that complain about, oh, I've done this job and I've done that job and I've worked so hard and I did this and that for you and y'all couldn't even tip me. So instead of looking at it from that place, how about what I personally do is I charged based on obviously like my work and what I believe that this service is worth, and then what I would expect to make with this service and a tip. That's how I charge. That way, when a client tips, it is extra. But I don't operate from the place of, oh, they supposed to tip me. You don't know what a client has. And that's one of those things where we got to get out of our ego, right? Because if a client, you don't know if this client has saved up this money for her birthday and she was putting money to the side, and maybe that was, I don't know, a nail appointment she didn't go to, or an outfit that she didn't buy, or, it's some clients where they family members chip in every birthday and get their hair done because they know that that's what they like to do. And that may be the only time of the year that client sees you. So instead of looking and going, oh, they didn't tip me, I didn't do all of this and that. No, be considerate. You don't know what that client had to do to get the money to come and see you. And all of this is me, I've taken my own stuff into accountability and learning to change my mindset with things as well. That's another thing. I used to get really upset and angry with clients that only see me like every 6 months to a year. And it was just straight entitlement. Y'all don't owe me shit. I'm extremely grateful for the ones that do. Now, what I do, I'm not gonna lie to you, what I do is a lot more of my like promotions and incentives and like little like extras and stuff that I do those for my VIPs. And all my VIPs there's not no special program or nothing like that, but my regulars are considered my VIPs. I just don't like to use the word regular because, you know, but VIP just make them sound a little bit more elite. But, you know, that's just because these people are spending more money with me more often and I'm seeing them more often. So it could be something. My clients will always tell you, like when they post their pictures, they'll go, she's always adding a little extra. She's always doing this and that. When you get to know your clients and you get to know them and the things that they like and they, you know, whatever, you can add a little extra. So like even something as small as like one of my favorite like clients, she's like a big sister to me. I'll do like a braid or like a ponytail or something. And I always add like a little extra curl here and there, or I'll add a little pop of color because I know that's what she likes. She doesn't have to ask me for it. I have another client that like I like am super close with, and she always wears like the same color. And so I wanted to like incorporate a little color into the braids that she just got. It wasn't nothing crazy. You don't want to go crazy and like freak your client the fuck out, but I just added a little touch of like 27/6/13 hair. And it was so cute because her hair is already a number 4. And she's not really like a color kind of person. So when I did it, she was like, oh my God, this is so cute. Because it wasn't overwhelming. So just little things like that. I know that sometimes when I do these videos, I kind of get to go into like explaining other things. But I just am really passionate about what I do. And I really love what I do. I'm sure you guys can tell that. So I changed my mindset. I just started to change how I talked about things, you know? And I'm like that with everything. If I'm late somewhere, instead of being like, oh my God, it was an accident, I can't believe I was late, I look at things like, maybe that was divine intervention. Maybe, you know, I'd have been the one in that accident. You don't know what's happening. You just know that you're the one that's inconvenienced and behind. Even like with clients, you know, yes, I do have a late policy. However, if I have a client that, you know, let's say, because usually the way that my late policy works is like, you got 15 minutes grace period. If at 15 minutes you are not at the door, your appointment is canceled. And I do that because I've been taken advantage of in the past. However, if at the 15-minute mark, the client is like, I'm here. I used to back in the day be so firm on it that I would turn you away. But if I know you and I know your hair and I know like, okay, I can actually get this person done, or you're my last one of the day and I have a little cushion, then I will still take that person. But I don't look at it and go, oh, they're playing with my time. No, honestly, I want to say a good 99.99% of my clients are always on time. I never really have an issue with them. So, you know, you just give the same energy that you would expect back. Like I said, I just pulled into the house. If you're always complaining, what you think you're going to get? You're going to get the people that cause you to complain. If you are, if you're getting a slew of like horrible fucking clients, instead of complaining about them, you know, look at what is it that I don't like about this experience that I'm having and how can I change it? So for instance, like I said, if clients are always late, a simple change is just implementing a grace period. And when you implement that grace period, stay firm to that grace period. Don't like let up. And if you do, you know, you could even simply tell a client like, look, my grace period is normally this much. You're already here, so I'm not going to cancel you this time, but understand that the next time we can't have this. Easy. You know, and making sure that when you're communicating with them, you're communicating from a place of professionalism and not anger because they can sense it. You never want to make somebody feel like they're burdening you. There are times where, because I'm so cut and dry, a client may say, hey, do you wash hair? And I'll be like, yes. And, you know, sometimes they want to hear the yes, I do, with a little smiley emoji, but I may be with the client and I'm just trying to hurry up and answer you. So if that happens, sometimes I'll go back and go, hey, you know what? I apologize if I came off dry. I was with a client and I just wanted to make sure that I answered you so you didn't feel ignored. And they'll go, oh, no, it's okay. I understand that you're busy. So it's just about changing your attitude and your energy about things. And like I said, this is something that I've had to learn myself as well. So I'm speaking from experience. I am going to come back with like more of these. So if there's other things that you guys like want to talk about or whatever, like leave me a comment, hit me in the DM, whatever. I have plenty of these. I do plan on creating like a series of what I've learned as a hairstylist issues that I've had in the past and how I've learned to navigate them. So if that's something that you want to hear about, stay tuned. Have a beautiful day.